Sorry, I just got to start recording here. Today we're going to be focusing on conversion factors you do need to memorize, and these are your metric conversions. Okay, and we have, whoa, it's jumping all over the place here. Let's start with 1 centimeter cubed equals 1 milliliter. Now what I would like you to do is I would like you to imagine, close your eyes for a moment, and imagine that you have a cube that is 1 centimeter on each side. You have a cube that is 1 centimeter on each side. And what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to open up your eyes and hold your fingers so that you can hold that little tiny cube that is in your imagination. Okay, so hold out your fingers as though you're holding that 1 centimeter cube. I missed it by these, we got a couple more. We need one more to get up here and one more to get up here. Okay. Hold that cube while I go get 2 more. So you are going to, hopefully your cube is about this big, right? You're holding it. Now what I'd like you to do, so that's 1 cubic centimeter, yes, that you're holding your little imaginary cube. Now I would like you to look on this 10 milliliter graduated cylinder, and I would like you to see what 1 milliliter looks like. 1 milliliter. So pass it between the 2 or 3 of you so you can each see it. And look for 1 milliliter. Okay? Make sure everyone has actually taken a physical look at it, because that physical look will actually help you to remember this. And now I would like you to imagine your cube, your little 1 centimeter cube and your milliliter, and what can you say about those 2 volumes? Your little cube and the 1 milliliter. They're the same, okay? And hopefully by seeing that and having your little imaginary cube in the real world, it would be nice to have had some real 1 centimeter cubes. Maybe I'll look into ordering some of those in the future, but for now, your imagination is pretty good. All right, so that is one that you are responsible for memorizing, okay? And hopefully by having worked with this physical thing, that will help it stick in your head. Another thing you need to memorize is the density of water, which is a really lovely number. Guess what it is? It is 1 gram per milliliter, okay? So 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 1 milliliter. 1 gram per milliliter is the density of water. And finally, this one is actually optional. And the reason that it is optional is that we're going to learn all of our metric conversions, and you can actually derive this from your other metric conversions. So if you don't know this one, it is not the end of the earth. Can you think of any other metric conversions that you might just happen to know? What's that? Like, what about this? 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Now, whether you memorize that or not, or whether you just know it, is up to you. If you want to use that as a conversion factor, these are our other optional must memorize. Optional memorize, not optional must memorize, otherwise it wouldn't be optional. Optional memorize. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Do you know any other metric conversions? Sorry? 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. You guys know how much that is? How many meters? That is 1,000 meters. Do you know how many milliliters there are in 1 liter? I want you to imagine, like, this is about a liter, okay? Not the entire thing, but just up to about there. That's about a liter. How many milliliters would that be? About, not about 1,000, exactly 1,000, exactly 1,000, yes. So 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. So if you know some of those conversions because you've just picked them up by living your life, or you learned them in physics or somewhere else, you can use those, okay? But there are going to be some of the other ones that are a little weird, like micro, that you might not know at this point. However, we have a way of learning them and memorizing them. What does this part put you in mind of? It's our lovely little song, okay? So if you remember, our song goes mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. You can just mouth along or try singing along with me. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. We'll do it one more time. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. Mouth along at least. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. Okay, now we're going to add a line onto the song. Okay, and it's going to be these powers of 10. Okay? And actually, before we do that, let's talk about these powers of 10 and what they actually mean. Okay? So if I have 1 kilogram, 1 kilogram, that is 10 to the 3 grams. And if you remember, what is 10 to the 3? 10 to the 3 is how much? 1,000 grams. Okay, so if you just know that a kilogram is 1,000 grams, you can use that conversion, or you can use the conversion that 1 kilogram is equal to 10 to the 3 grams. Okay? A centigram, if you think about a centimeter, there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. So centi means 1 over 10 to the 2, because remember 10 to the negative 2 means 1 over 10 to the 2, which means 1/100th. So 1 centigram is equal to 1/100th of a gram. That's what those powers of 10 actually mean. And I could even write that in decimal form. I could write that as 0.01 grams is equal to 1 centigram. Okay? But we're going to learn our little song for these powers of 10. And it starts exactly the same way. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. And then it goes 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. 9 is for the nano. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. 9 is for the nano. Now, if you look, the 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 is for the nano. That gives you your power of 10. So when we have mega, Mega means 10 to the 6. So what that means is that 1 megagram is 10 to the 6 grams, which in other words, if you wanted to expand that, you could expand it as 1000000. But that's actually kind of a pain, yes, to write out all those zeros. So it's kind of nice just to be able to express it as 10 to the 6. All right, so we're going to practice this. You might want a sheet of paper so you can write along, okay? So our song goes, mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, and then it goes 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 is for the nano. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. 9 is for the nano. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. Okay, that was really sad. I will do it with you this time, okay? But I want you to be a little bit louder than, okay? Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. 6, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. 9 is for the nano. Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. 3, 6, 9 is for the nano. Now, the powers of 10, what you should notice is these first two are positive powers of 10, right? So the mega is 10 to the positive 6, and kilo is 10 to the positive 3. Whoops, I wrote k to the 3. That should be 10 to the 3, positive 3. All the rest of them are negative exponents. So deci means 10 to the negative 1. Centi means 10 to the negative 2. Milli means 10 to the negative 3. Micro 10 to the negative 6. And nano means 10 to the negative 9. Most of them are powers of like a factor of 3, you know, or a multiple of 3. Did you notice that except for the deci and the centi? Everything else is like either a 3 or a 6 or a 9. If you continued going up, giga is 10 to the 9. Yeah, and then if we go the other way, pico is 10 to the negative 12. Okay, so they all go by 3s except for the centi and the deci. Okay, but you don't need to know any of those other than the ones that we have listed for you there. Okay, so there you are. Those are the ones that you need to know. And you need to know them by Tuesday because you will be expected to use these conversions in your quiz. Okay? We are now going to go to page 69, 2.4a. And we're going to take a look at the second question too, because apparently I can't count. So this is on page 69. And we're looking at the second question too. And let's look at A. We're going to fill in the exponential multiplier that makes the statement equal. So if we have centi, Well, let's remember our little song. We have mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, 631,236. 9 is for the nano. And then these two are positive and all the rest are negative. So if I write 1 centimeter, I can actually replace the centi with 10 to the negative 2. So 1 times 10 to the negative 2 meters is 1 centimeter. Okay? And if you were to write 1 times 10 to the negative 2, that would actually be 0.01, and 0.01 meter is 1 centimeter. Let's try one more while we're here. Megamole. If I want to write that as plain moles instead of like a mole with a prefix in front of it, I'm going to replace the mega with the power of 10. So we're going to replace mega with the power of 10. What is the power of 10 for mega? 10 to the 6, and that's a positive 6, right? So 10 to the 6. So what I'm going to do just very briefly is I'm going to give you time to do page 69, and then we are going to move on to 2.4b, or actually 2.4c. Okay, so start with page 69. I'll give you about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes to do that. I don't imagine it's going to take you very long. It's really quick. Well, actually, maybe we will do 2.4b as well. Yeah. When you finish, check your answers. Make sure you got them correct. Feels like Friday today, but it's not Friday. Oh well. How are we doing? Are we just about done that? And if we're not, that's okay. We're going to go on to page 70. If you've already started it on your own and you understand it, that's fine. We're going to do a few examples together. So what we're going to do on page 70 is we're going to use the exponential multiplier, which just is a big fancy way of saying times 10 to the whatever, times 10 to the x, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our, and if we are asked to convert micrometers into meters, the nice thing is that that's actually pretty easy because we know what micro means. Yes? We know that micro, mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, 631,236. 9 is for the nano, and then all of these are negative, so that we know what does micro mean. Micro means 10 to the negative 6. So I can actually write 65, okay, 65, and I can replace the micro with times 10 to the negative 6. So I have gone from 65 micrometers to 65 times 10 to the 6 meters. And then at that point, I would need to put this number into scientific notation. Are we in scientific notation? No, because we need to have only one digit in front of the decimal, so we will move our decimal there. That will give us 6.5. That became smaller, so our other part of the number has to become bigger. 10 to the negative, oh, that should be a 5. Yeah? Yeah, that should not be a 7. That should be a negative 5. Okay? 6. All right, let's do one more example. Let's do 342.8 nanoseconds. What does the prefix nano mean? Nano means 10 to the negative 9. So we're going to keep the 342.8, but we're going to replace nano with times 10 to the negative 9, and then we just have our seconds. And now we're going to move that decimal place 2 places to the left, so that gives us 3.428. So now we have one digit in front of the decimal. This got smaller by 10 to the 2. Therefore, our exponent has to get bigger by 10 to the 2. So that's a couple of examples that are going to get you through exercise number 1. Let's go down here just a little bit. So for the rest of chemistry 11, when I say a base unit, we can also call that a plain unit. That is a unit without a prefix. So that would be your grams, seconds, moles, meters, Kelvin, liters. There's no prefix in front of it. That is a plain unit or a base unit. If I call it a prefix unit, that means we've stuck a prefix in front of one of those things. Kilograms, centiseconds, micromoles, decimeters, nanograms, megaliters, etc. We're gonna skip number 2, unless you want to do it. If you want to do it, that's great. I'm just going to skip over number 3 as well. And we're going to take a look at number 4, because number 4 is about writing conversion factors. Okay? And I'm going to do it over here, but you've got it written where you have it. We know that 1 centimeter is equal to how many meters if we use our powers of 10? Tell your partner. What's the power of 10 we would use there? Mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, 631, 236. 9 is for the nano, and all these ones are negative except for the first 2. And so centi is 10 to the negative 2. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 to the negative 2 meters. So if you need to convert between centimeters and meters, and you forget that there are 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter, you could use this as a conversion factor. Yes? So you could do 1 centimeter per 10 to the negative 2 meters, or you could write it as 10 to the negative 2 meters per 1 centimeter. Okay? So that's how you can write your conversion factors. All right, and I'm going to let you do that on your own at home, because we're going to go on to 2.4c, and we're going to deal with this on our without a calculator. So we're going to start without a calculator. This is on page 72. Let's say I don't know how many meters is equal to 13 nanometers. Now, I could just do what we did previously. I could say 13 nanometers is equal to 13, and I could replace the nano with what? Times 10 to the negative 9 meters. But what if I wanted to actually use a conversion factor? Let's just say I did. I know that 1 nanometer is equal to how many meters? 10 to the negative 9. So I can use that as a conversion factor. I can start with nanometers. I can cancel 1 nanometer with 10 to the negative 9 meters. Okay, and we'll get the same thing we did before. We will have 13 times 10 to the negative 9. We would not want to leave that as 13 times 10 to the negative 9, because that is not scientific notation. Move your decimal place over 1. That becomes 1.3, and the 10 to the 9 becomes 10 to the negative 8. Okay? So when you're going from the prefix unit to the base unit, you can just replace the prefix with the power of 10. We're going to leave this one for you to do on your own. Okay. Now we are going from, and this is on page 73, I believe. Yes, 73. Yeah. We're going from liters, so we're going from the regular unit to the prefix unit. So you can't just do a replacement here. Okay? So we need to remember what deci means. Do you remember what deci means? 10 to the -1. And if you don't remember mega, kilo, deci, 6, 3, 1. Oh, that's -1. So deci is 10 to the -1. So we know that 1, now is it 1 liter equals 10 to the -1 deciliters, or is it 1 deciliter is equal to 10 to the -1 liters? Which of those is correct? Chat with your partner and decide. Which of these is the correct conversion factor? A or B? Here's an easy way to do it. You can either have a prefix in front of your unit, or you can have a power of 10 because one replaces the other, okay? Deci means 10 to the -1. So I can either have 10 to the -1 liters, or I can have deciliter, which means 10 to the -1 liters. If I write 10 to the -1 deciliters, that means 10 to the -1, 10 to the -1 liters. So you should never have both a power of 10 and a prefix in a conversion factor. Never have a power of 10 and the prefix together in the conversion factor. So you should never have 10 to the -1 deciliter. It should always be the 1 that goes with the prefix. Okay, so the 1 goes with the prefix. So here we go. This is fantastic. We've got this. We have 20 liters equals, where do I put my 10 to the -1? Tell your partner, do I put it on the top or do I put it on the bottom? Where does the 10 to the -1 go? Because deciliters and liters we're looking at. Here we have a prefix. What should always go with the prefix? 1 should always go with the prefix. And that means your power of 10 should go with the plane unit. So that means your 10 to the -1 is going to go here. Is good? Keep doing that for yourself. Think it through every time. These are really easy calculations, but so many people mess up by writing it the wrong way round. They'll write 10 to the -1 deciliters is equal to 1 liter. Sometimes if you just think about it, if you think, okay, I have a liter, and I have a deciliter, so I got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a deciliter. Is it true that a tenth of a deciliter is equal to 1 liter? Is a tenth of a deciliter equal to 1 liter? No, because, right, but we have a tenth of a liter is equal to a deciliter. So sometimes you can think it through that way, right? If you really put your mind to it, you can say a milliliter is smaller than a liter. So a fraction of a liter will be a milliliter. A multiple of milliliters will be a liter. So a big number of milliliters, 1,000 milliliters is a liter. A tiny fraction of a liter, 1/1000th of a liter is a milliliter. So start thinking about whether you're looking at a big unit or a small unit and what you should have in terms in front of them. And if that confuses you, put the 1 in front of the prefix, okay? That will always get you the right answer. Put the 1 where? In front of the prefix. Where do you put the number 1? In front of the prefix. Where does the number 1 go? In front of the prefix. Where does the number 1 go? Over on this side. In front of the prefix. Where does the number 1 go on this side? In front of the prefix. We're going to do that every day, as well as sing that dang song, because honestly, you should ace this part, and so many people don't. And it frustrates me. So we're going to do our best to make sure that you ace this. All right. Now, just like all our other unit conversions, we are going to cancel our units. Okay. And we can then, if you remember, I have 10 to the negative 1. 1 over 10 to the negative 1 is equal to 10 to the positive 1. And then I can just multiply that out and we'll get it in correct standard notation. Okay? Now, we are running out of time very quickly. So I'm going to assign you page 70 and 71. And 72. Okay, pages 70, 71, 72. I'm also going to give you back your quizzes. Maybe. I have a few of them I have not yet marked yet, but I'll give back the ones I have marked. And if you don't mind waiting a moment, I can get back the other ones really quickly. Caden, Jilly, Carly, Zenab, Molly. Yours is right there, sorry. Carly, Zenab, sorry, I haven't got yours yet. Molly, Ethan, Danica, Daniel, Ethan, Danica, Daniel, Max, Laura, Alex, Owen. I am here tomorrow during Flex if you want to take a look at some of this stuff. Elijah, let me finish handing these out first. Sarah, Michaela, Timmons. Timmons is right there. Hagen, Julia, Andrew, Han, Isaiah, Mimi, sorry, I got it wrong. Lance, Sasha, Rex, and Yuri. Rex, Sasha, Yuri. And for those of you who have not got it back yet, I will have them marked before, like by after school, so if you want to drop by and pick it up, you can. Okay? Hi. Yeah, yeah. But it equals 16.0. Oh, I didn't sig fig it. Yeah, you got to sig fig before you do the next step. Yeah?
Okay, because I've always done the same thing at the end. So I do
Well,
all the raw numbers first.
you do, and you get 16.0 as your raw number.
Right, 16.0 divided by 3.65, and then I still have the 2 because that's the 2 digits.
Because you get 16.0.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
That's your top part.
Okay, why would it be 16.0 when the, oh, it's addition, it's addition. Ah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm around after school today or flex tomorrow if you want to look at your
Can I
quiz.
do this tomorrow after school?
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Minnie. Because this is 16.0, so that is 3 sig figs, that has 3 sig figs, so that's 3 sig figs. Yeah. Tricky, right? This one, you would have to use the decimal places, and then I would have to write it out, so it's going to take more than you need to get to your next class. But if you want to drop by after school or in the morning tomorrow, I can show you where to go. Okay? Yeah. I can show you really quickly either after school or in the morning. Yes? You've got to get to your next class, yeah? Yeah. But I got to get to my next class too. Okay? You're welcome. See you. Whoop. I should collect those. There are 4 versions of the basic one, and right now I only have 3 versions. Another version over the weekend. So, up to 4 times. Oh, that's not for Monday. For today's quiz, it's on Monday.
Thank you for sending that email. It was
Oh yeah.
very helpful.
Do you know what's funny? Because I was to, Ms. Ellie, I'm like, I don't know what they need to graduate, or blah, blah. And she's like, well, sometimes in neuroscience, I'm like, no, you don't. Anyway, we're looking at it, and when you go to this auto, it's very, like, it won't tell you anything. So I was like, I went home and I'm like, I need to know. Is that a long break? Long break, I need to know first. Right? Anyway, so good, I'm glad this helped. Yes.
I think Austin's getting set up. I keep asking him. Thank you.
You can just keep that one. How's that? Yeah.